Hello, everyone. I'm Berkay Yildirim, founder of TensorSphere, located in London, UK. And before I start, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity. It's a true honor to present my paper and my solution in front of you, and my sincere thanks to the Turing Institute. And to all of you, thank you very much. My expertise is focusing on building AI systems that are secure, transparent, and sovereign by design. And today I'm here to share a practical blueprint, which is an architecting for autonomy, a federated and explainable AI blueprint for UK public services. What if I told you we can build AI systems such as ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude, but without relying on hyperscale cloud providers? In the meantime, as being sovereign, as having jurisdictional mandates, performance, secure, and local. Today, I will show you how we can do that. And from technical regulations, from the blueprint to the future vision. So let's get started. My starting point was not the technology. Instead, it was the regulations. We have three important technical documentation and also regulations in here. First, ICO, which particularly demands data protection. As you know that, we have a couple of options, such as on-premises data centers, but data residency doesn't mean data sovereignty, and there are a couple of conflicts between US Cloud Act and the UK GDPR. Secondly, we have AI playbook, and it mainly requires accountability of AI models. The last but not least, the NCSC, which requires mainly resilient infrastructure, sovereign infrastructure. To sum up, we have a clear directive. We must control our data and our systems. But we have a leverage. 5 years ago, it would have been impossibly expensive, but today the game has changed. We have an open source ecosystem which provides tools for independence. For instance, I've been using Llama 3, which is an open foundation model, which is also auditable and performant. Additionally, I've been using Llama, which is an efficient open source inference server. I can run any model anywhere. The economic and technical barrier to entry has collapsed. To talk about my POC today, it is the federated pipeline. I'm inspired by federated learning. I have central foundation model, and I'm doing fine-tuning to train small, specialized agent for local tasks. Let's dive deeper. Here, I'm using public open source Llama 3, and I'm basically creating a UK foundational model by using the sensitive UK data. Then, I'm sending this model to local authorities, such as Bristol City Council or Manchester or Liverpool City Council, to create specialized agents. The sequence is foundation, then generalization, then specialization. This approach avoids inefficient and monolithic systems, and also it creates tailored AI for specific community needs. I don't send any sensitive data, even from London to Bristol. Instead, I'm sending the model. So let's talk about my architecture. I developed front-end, back-end, and core AI model by using Llama 3 via Llama server. So my federated pipeline is ready because I created a specialized agent by using UK foundation model. And my microservices are ready as well to get the request and give the response. What about the data flow? The user will ask the question from front end, back end, and it will forward to agent, then give the response by processing it. So I validated with a live demo. Basically, my use case is, many of you know of that, in the UK, city councils offer grants to homeowners for energy upgrades, which is a prominent part of our national zero carbon goal. And I wanted to make this process more efficient as a use case. It's a fictional specific use case. I created the specialized AI agents I trained on a specific real-world rules of UK grant schemes to assess user eligibility based on core rules. Rule 1 is your income, based on your annual income. Rule 2 is based on your property efficiency. Rule 3 is based on your ownership. Let's look at the example. The user will ask the question here. This is my landing page. I call it Bristol Hugo Assistant. And hey, I own my home in Bristol. My household income is £32,000 per year. And the EPC rating is E. The question is sent to my AI server, and this gives the response. It's right now processing. And yes, here, this is the result of the processed eligibility. And it also explains why, because of the reasons. So far, so good. We implemented federated architecture. We implemented everything successfully, but it is not enough. Is it performant or scalable and secure? To talk about performance, my proposal is replacing the foreign stack to local alternatives to have lower latency via local sovereign compute. For instance, do you know GraphCore in the UK? And they have two important hardware, GPUs and IPUs, intelligent processing units for essentially AI and machine learning pipelines. Or you can use IQU or ARM, all of them local UK-based compute hardware. To talk about scalability, I want to delegate scalability and load balancing to open source alternatives for production-grade container orchestration, thanks to Kubernetes. So, to talk about network security, we rely on couple of services for a secure network. For instance, VPC, Web Application Firewall, and CDN, and etc. We can replace them by using the local alternatives. To move from shared responsibility model to total control model, thanks to UK-based cloud providers such as Civo, UK Cloud, or 923. These options are jurisdictional alternatives and full NCSE compliance by design. But is it correct? My benchmarking reveals some of key advantages. First, full UK control. Second, it has lower latency because we are doing local inference. Third, full NCSE compliant security. And it has predictable and lower cost. Also, it is more sustainable for environment because it is more efficient. We are using small models, local models. Let's talk about in detail. Let's talk about cost in detail. Sovereign stack has an operational cost, and it's basically 1.5 pounds, around 1.5 pounds per hour for a GPU. And based on this assumption, approximately 1,000 per month. On the other hand, hyperscaler one, which is token-based cost calculation, and we are including input tokens and output tokens. And I have two important assumptions for a realistic scenario. I assume that 10 million interaction per month. The second assumption is 1,000 input tokens per interaction. Based on that, we end up with around 2,000 pounds per month. The result is dramatic, right? Because nearly double and completely variable. What about the latency? We have two important latency that we should take into account. Network latency and the processing latency. Sovereign stack delivers the response in around 1 millisecond. On the other hand, hyperscaler is 4 to 5 times slower because of the transatlantic distances. So far I talk about the technology, but technology is not enough. We must change how we procure it. So I have 3 important clauses for our future tenders. First, jurisdictional mandate. Second, open source preferences. And third, federated architecture. I like to require AI pipelines to run on UK-based sovereign infrastructure. Second, I would like to prioritize open source models. Third, I'd like to point out federated designs. We shouldn't send any sensitive data, even from London to Manchester. Instead, we should send models to train specialized models in the local authorities. So, why? Because to create the sovereign market, we need. Is it transferable? Yes, we began in the UK, but it's a universal blueprint for digital autonomy. Jurisdictional control, open source models, and federated design, all of them are preferences on your end, and it is transferable. To talk about the future vision, what is the next? My current architecture is based on supervised learning. I would like to amplify it with RAG for real-time accuracy by using knowledge-based systems. Second, I'd like to improve it from single agent system, because my current architecture is based on single system agent, to multi-agent systems to solve complex problems. I have to acknowledge that hyperscalers are catalysts for innovation, but strategic dependency is not a requirement for this progress. And today I'm here to show an alternative perspective as a blueprint. It is possible. I wanted to create this project, proposal, or paper, whatever, because we care about our cultural identity, because we are developing language models, and therefore we should care about our linguistic nuances. And also we care about our existence with our local culture. We don't want to have a monolithic one. Many of you know Matrix, right? The last scene, the agent asks why, Mr. Anderson, why? Why do you persist? Because we choose to. It should be our preferences. Thank you very much.